Jake Barber, um ex-oficial de inteligência e denunciante, compartilhou com Jesse Michels suas experiências com fenômenos aéreos não identificados e os programas secretos do governo dos Estados Unidos em torno deles. Segundo ele, das 40 testemunhas internas entrevistadas por David Grusch, um deles é o cara que não está mais conosco, cuja morte foi convenientemente programada para aqueles que podem ter algo a ver com isso. Acompanhe no vídeo.
It's not going to come from what everyone thinks is a national security issue. We need to hide this stuff. Where that's going to come from is from individuals within the organization or who have been involved in any part of these activities who have committed crimes and wants to cover their ass. They will do anything to protect themselves, which includes taking out other people, wet works. And so that makes for a very narrow group of folks that might at least have the will to do that. And you can kind of smoke those people out. I do know for a fact that there are leadership within entities that I work for and with that have called for wet works. And there are people that have died under very suspicious circumstances at the most convenient time for those who would want to have them silenced, who were coming out and who were speaking out on our activities.
Anybody you know?
Yes.
Can you say anything more?
No, because there's an investigation happening right now, and they're looking into it.
That's scary, man.
It is very scary.
Yeah. Mr. Grusch, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
Are you one of David Grusch's 40 firsthand witnesses that he says he presented to the Intelligence Community Inspector General Thomas Monheim?
No, Dave and I met after his initial complaint was filed with the ICIG, and those guys represented a set. I don't know the 40. I know of some of them. One of them is the guy who's no longer with us, whose demise was quite conveniently timed for those who might have something to do with it.
Of the 40 people we did interview, I'd say about 10 to 12 of them had concerns about wet work, murders in the past, people going missing in their workplace. I certainly had, some disturbing things happen to me in my personal life from a physical intimidation perspective, which I reported to my agency's counterintelligence element when I was still in government. Obviously, I was never physically harmed, but I certainly saw signatures of what I thought was illicit extragovernmental activity as it related to intimidating me and some of my other colleagues. Just was very, very disturbing and upsetting information. So I don't have any personal knowledge of that kind of stuff, but I did talk to firsthand witnesses who had very high credentials, that were government officials, that did espouse that concern of illicit wet work and other physical intimidation type activities. So I don't believe that they were lying. So I feel like that is a genuine concern, and I would, champion an investigation to see if that is true.
What happened to me personally was very disturbing. So I have to be very vague about this because ongoing investigation, but I think you'll understand what I'm saying, is they showed my wife and I they can touch me at any time, 2 times. And it was very disturbing. It was in conjunction with some other people getting a message like that are, let's say, publicly well-known, some that aren't publicly well-known. And of course, I immediately reported that to, counterintelligence, federal law enforcement local to me, because it, wasn't criminal, but it was like a fuck you to me. And this was right before I filed my whistleblower complaint. Now, I don't know who did this, entity who did X, Y, and Z to my wife and I identity unknown, but it fucking happens. And I, provided that documentation to a couple special agents.